Hello everybody, here we are back for game number 2, Team Alternate Attacks versus 4 ASC. The first one was won by 4 ASC and it was at times really close. I mean, considering we had, for example, completely net worth equality at almost 30 minutes into the game, but like this last high ground push, it was so solid that Team Alternate never really recovered. They were on the ground and then they were finished off by 4AC right there. We had some troubles loading into the second lobby here because ATN, wherever they live, they have some sort of thunderstorm. Yes, Zeus is not gonna play with them right now, so we have to see if their internet is stable. Hopefully it is. Let's give it a try. At least we have to go through the draft so far. Mike, let's go.
Alright, well, Leshrac is going to get banned out, so that's one Lightning Storm that's taken care of. Still looking for Storm Spirit and Zeus to get banned out, just so alternate attacks can get a nice connection into this game. But we did see some good things from alternate in the last game. I mean, they had aggression at the right times. They had clinks with really good positioning. I think as a whole, alternate's positioning was pretty good. I think, well, obviously it was the pickoff of clinks that directly translated them into that lost game, but perhaps if they rejoined the Clinks into the fights a little bit earlier in the grand scheme of things, they could have set the game off on a slightly better foot. But this is definitely not a game where it's impossible to see alternate attacks come back and claim a pretty convincing win.
Yep, and now Winter Wyvern already drafted. It did a good job in the first game, especially to disable the Sven. When he popped everything, it gives you those some seconds time that even a Warcry, etc. fades, and that like a majority of the time for his ultimate is just gone. The IO is coming through again for ASC. It did so good work, to be honest. Like the first big fight we saw around the top rune was heavily won by the IO and the healing, as well as some nice relocates. We also had like a little hiccup that was like that 2 centimeter relocate, which was not helping at all, but I mean, mistakes happen. We can also get the Storm Spirit now, so that's of course nice. If he's gonna end up in the mid mic, then we have again this like dual lane start into the game where he's getting pumped full of mana, can spam Remnant, and of course the Overload.
And Storm Spirit, maybe not as much so as the Shadow Fiend, but he also can do quite a bit if he gets someone to stack up his jungle for him. So it's really nice to have that dual lane in the mid lane. And Storm Spirit, even though, you know, with the IO as a quote-unquote IO partner, not really the best hero, not as explosive as someone like a Sven, like we saw in the last game, or a Bristleback or a Gyrocopter or a Tiny, but still, having that mobility, getting Storm Spirit into those fights from just sitting in the mid lane farming, that could definitely offer up quite a bit of benefit. So I like the opening for 4 anchors. Very, very mobility heavy. And alternate attacks, they are going to have a little bit of mobility of their own in the Spirit Breaker, but Spirit Breaker, after Storm Spirit gets level 6, not that good versus that hero. He is kind of good at tracking IO, but that's kind of limited benefits.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last game we already saw that they like the utility heroes, those who can really turn around fights where you have a nice execution. We had some nice plays by the Disruptor, for example, but also not that heavy impact we sometimes see when he's like the only utility hero. The Winter Wyvern, I already said it, made some nice plays. But overall, I think it was just too much, and the cores were not of too great substance that they actually, you know, survived, especially the Clinks. I mean, if he was in a nice position, he could snack some supports away. The fight was shifting in their favor, but if that was not successful and the supports were protected by position or by items or by any disable, the fight was always going well for 4AC. Now we have the Winter Wyvern, same impact obviously, but we also get the roaming potential into the whole game. Spirit Breaker, I don't know what you say, last game his impact was there. He sometimes found a nice target, but also many charges were actually interrupted. Then again, he had some nice baits with the Nether Strike action on the high ground, stuff like that. So I guess for ASC it paid out. Let's see if it's the same for ATN.
I think that was partially like the player. Sone's playstyle last game was just a little bit too aggro, but yeah, with the Spirit Breaker, you're always going to have some okay times. Tusk is still in the pool, which is a little bit surprising considering we have the likes of Ember, PL, and Huskar banned out over those types of heroes, but hey, to each his own. We'll see if 4 anchors want to just sit on this IO and grab a partner for the IO a little bit later, or they grab a Bane. This is not a very common way to go. It's not terrible, though. Like, you get a nice setup for someone to be picked up later. It has 2 disables to touch down a Spirit Breaker, and Bane's damage does go through Winter Wyvern's Embrace, so you could definitely pick up a worse hero, but 9 times out of 10, if you want Bane, you could pick him up last.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna see something that actually sets up with the Bane, anything that goes into a Nightmare. As for Enfeeble is not a stronger spell anymore on the Bane, obviously. The ultimate still is, but of course it's also easy to be interrupted. If he goes for a BKB, there's still the Winter's Curse, there's still the Spirit Breaker who could bash you. Both of that does not help. Having a BKB, for example, the same guy is pretty much for the Nether Strike. Now comes the Bounty Hunter, that would be the third interrupt in case you do not have a BKB. So I'm kind of worried that the Bane has to really hold back with his ultimate, find the right position, the right timing. And for the setup, we don't see anything by 4AC yet to come out, but it might actually happen. The Bounty Hunter on the other side, well, that's one of those heroes who is relatively stable in this meta. Like, if you actually get some nice kills with the track, then yeah, of course, it's raining gold.
The pick for the setup is looking like it's going to be a Slark. 4 anchors have a pretty nice tri-lane here. Nightmare into Pounce is, yeah, dangerous, not as deadly as like Nightmare into Torrent or into an Arrow or something like that, but it gets the job done if the enemy team doesn't have any response to it. So like a Bounty Hunter gets caught by that and he's just completely screwed. It's a kind of a rarer thing to see nowadays, teams going for this type of draft, but it still is fairly effective. Alternate attacks, it looks like with this Bounty Hunter pick, are looking to be a little bit more aggressive in this game. Step up the heat, and we'll maybe get their core carry involved a little bit earlier than in the last game. So definitely looking for that snowball, but snowballing by killing off a Storm Spirit and or a Slark, very difficult. Bane, Io, a little bit easier. So alternate attacks kind of opportunities for kills are going to be isolated within these two supports primarily.
Yep, I actually like the Windrunner. Can do a lot, of course, again with evasion against what's coming out by the Slark. But then again, you have the Storm Spirit initiating on her. There could be still a possibility for, like Orchid, for example. There's a lot of magic damage coming her way, like a Brain Zap and a Storm Spirit opening on you, like a Remnant, some right clicks, and a Brain Zap that kills a Windrunner easily. So I'm kind of worried about the low HP approach at the moment for ATN. I wanted to see something with more oomph behind it, as well as some original or traditional HP pool. We get the Tusk being banned out, which is hilarious because like casting weeks and weeks of Chinese Dota over on HeflaTV, we have now here a Tusk being banned in the 5th position. That is so rare to see there, because Undying and Tusk is like 100% ban and pick in the Chinese scene. Here in Europe, it's pretty much getting ignored, and it wouldn't even fit, to be honest. I don't see the Tusk fitting for ATN. For 4AC, yes, that could have happened, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be decent for 4ASC here, but still they have options like Clockwork, also a hero that we've seen quite a bit of in the past couple of weeks, yet now he's just completely ignored. Still possible for 4ASC to grab that, and Storm Spirit and a Clockwork. That's a really sick combination. You get so many ways of initiating. Your flexibility with initiating gets so high. So if they go for that, I think they could actually do quite a bit of work. And alternate attacks don't really have great anti-Clockwork heroes at the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them go for that. For alternate attacks' lanes right now, it looks like it's going to be a Wind Ranger mid, Spirit Breaker offlane, Bounty Roam, Winter Wyvern kind of, doing that supporty role. So looking for a core carry, but Winter Wyvern +1 versus a Clockwork or versus any like strong offlane, like a Darkseer even, it's hard to lock those heroes down.
Yep, absolutely, and now it's all about the 5th one. As for anchors, like a really traditional offliner would be cool. We still have a Clockwork, for example. I would even say the Clockwork is not bad in this game. Like, it helps you for the Windrunner. What?
I agree. That's what I just said.
Sorry, I thought maybe it's just me being stupid and it was somewhere banned and I'm just blind or something. But no, they're going to go for the Earthshaker, which is just as fine. So this is going to be our offline, pretty much sure about that one. And as for ATN, like if that's a core Windrunner, which it has to be, what is the second core and how do they gonna lane this? That's also the next question.
Yeah, I think now with the Shaker pick, they have obviously a lot more flexibility with who they're going to put into their safe lane. Being supported by only Winter Wyvern, only having to worry about their Shaker, unless offensive tri-lanes happen, which is possible from 4ASC, and actually looking at it again, even probable, they need to get someone with a little bit of mobility. I like an anti-mage here for alternate attacks, just hard countering that Storm Spirit, or really as hard counter as you can get out of your core hero. Survivable versus the Slark. Bane setup later on is annoying with the Fiend's Grip, but for the early stages, Nightmare into Pounce, anti-mage doesn't give a damn about that. So I think the bigger question is, will 4 anchors send Slark, Bane, and Io into a tri-lane, or will they run like an offensive dual lane there? They have options, and alternate attacks with the Bounty Hunter already in their team don't really have the most lane presence, so they may fall short very early on in this laning stage.
Yep, like I'm kind of worried that the Bounty Hunter, even if he's roaming, does not really find what he wants to find, because everything else, like all these heroes can relatively punish him hard. Like, if you go on a Slark, yes, he might be impressed by the damage and the harass coming out, especially if you run like Orb of Venom and stuff like that. But there's a Bane, there's an IO, there's a Storm at level 5 or 7 or something like that. We're gonna get a Vortex. Like, if there's just any support around with a Dust or a Sentry, that Bounty Hunter, yes, you're roaming, but you're just roaming into death all the time. So I'm kind of worried about the impact of the Bounty Hunter, but maybe he's proving me completely wrong, and he will find something and will impact the laning phase for ATN, which I think they need to get a good stand into this game. Because as I said, Windrunner, I'm not too impressed by her being run as a core. If that's in the mid against the Storm Spirit, then I can count, yeah, till level 6, and then he's in danger to be killed. Bloodseeker, well, I don't know if I like this or not.
He will have to fight. Upside for Bloodseeker is definitely here, like chasing down after Bane, IO, Shaker, those for a Bloodseeker, and if he has Track Gold, then that's exactly where you want your Blood. Possible for a Bloodseeker, at least by himself. He needs a Winter Wyvern Curse or a Spirit Breaker. For a mid-gamey type strategy, if you're looking for a snowball-y lineup, then Bloodseeker. And dude.
Yo.
Okay, my game kind of like. Hello.
I don't know, my internet at the moment is going up and down. I have no idea what's happening. I think I might have some angry package sender on me.
Well, I had to reconnect as well, so I don't know. Maybe it's some server thing.
Yeah, but it feels also like, I don't know, the connection. Can we pause the game? It is paused, right?
I don't know. Seems like the thunderstorm is expanding to include everyone on Earth.
Yeah, no, it's really strange, like the connection, everything went up and down a bit. I don't know, maybe America just pulled the plug on all the worldwide servers, I don't know.
It is true, we are in control of the entire world.
Yes, it is, but it seems like it's okay again, like it's going
Alright.
up. I can hear you again, so we unpause as well.
Alright, so let's go over who's going to be playing what. Doesn't seem like there's a high chance of these teams running into each other. On the 4ASC side, they're up a game. We got Stone, who's going to be playing the Earthshaker. Valix is on the Bane. Boogie is on the IO. Nemphy is playing Storm Spirit. And Matubaman, oh, he's already charged by Sasu, but there's not much follow-up. He's going to jump down to the low ground. This is an awkward place for a Slark to be. He's going to take a beating right now, taking a full Arctic burn. That hurts. Now shackled to a tree, pounce in 7 seconds. He does have ring of protection, so he's not completely paper, but he's mostly paper. Going behind the tier 1, now spotted by the Bloodseeker, and Bloodseeker might just be able to intercept him here. No salve up. Matubaman's gonna live. The sexiest girl in Dota is not gonna die just yet.
I guess that just makes the whole thing worth it, just getting the salve out that early. The Bounty Hunter, okay, he was spotted by the Bane, so if he's going for a warding mission, blocking camps for example, that might be interesting. He has 2 sentry wards with him. Anyway, so Nisha is playing him. On the other side we have Sazu playing on the Spirit Breaker. In the mid we have Amnik on the Windrunner. We already saw him in action here, Mr. Winter Wyvern baiting out that salve by the Slark on L. Lishash, or Lisash, I hope I pronounced it correctly, and Supreme Hero is pretty much the clockwork from, the clockwork I say, the Clinks work from last game, and this time he's on the Bloodseeker.
The Clinks work, that sounds like a pretty sick hero, but the lanes right now are, gotta be honest, not what I expected. For some reason there's a Bane here on the safe lane solo. Nemphy's up against the Wind Ranger. Storm vs. Wind is exactly what everyone should be expecting right now, and he's even going to get a little bit of help from Boogie. Nisha being forced out very early on, but Bane versus Spirit Breaker, I guess it's kind of an even lane, but especially Valix playing the Bane, like, I did not expect this type of arrangement.
Yeah, at the moment it's going much better than the previous offlines. For example, look at the Spirit Breaker. He is 1.5 minutes in to this game. He's 2.5 already. That's really good news on this side. On the other hand, well, the Earthshaker, he's doing similarly bad at the moment. Well, there is a nice Fissure blocking them out at this point, but there was no harass damage coming anyway. Like, we didn't even pop the Arctic Burn because it was still on cooldown, so everything was fine there, but he's not getting levels, of course.
Oh, up towards the top, Matumman feeling the brunt of a 17% bash. Now gets charged. Nightmare's needed, but it's way too late from Valix. He was there in range, but Sasu draws first blood on a Slark. That should just never be happening. I was going to say, like, oh, now that Slark's in this lane, this makes a lot more sense. You know, they could actually do a combo versus Sasu, just sleep into pounce. It's not the best combo up against the hero with such high armor, but it kind of works. But now that the Slark is dead, and he had to actually, like, base, I think beforehand because he had to make, like, some huge loop around because of that weird level 1 shenanigans. Sasu is going to have a great lane, man. He's level 4 already. That's an outrageous amount of experience for such an early phase of the game.
Absolutely. I was confused because I understood top and I was going top and I was like, no, there's nothing. In the mid, they dive really deep under the tier 1 tower, but that's really with nothing. At the moment, they also park the courier here next to the tier 1 tower because they know or expect somehow the bounty hunter being in range. Now he's finally off that line. They still hide the courier. They know he is waiting for it. They wait till he shows somewhere in the lane. And then, I don't know, then somehow maneuver that courier easily back. Maybe, of course, with the bottle. But let's see. At the moment, hiding time for couriers.
But across the board for alternate, their lanes are going super well. Like, up towards top, Hero is obviously having as good of a time as you would expect from a Bloodseeker with an Earthshaker opponent. He's having an absolute free roll, but Spiritbreaker is outlast hitting the Slark and then some. Matumman just now getting back to the lane. He's on level 2 versus a soon-to-be level 5 Spiritbreaker. Nemphi and Emnick are drawing relatively evenly over in mid, but alternate, they may very well get this snowball rolling very early. The downside is that even though they're CSing very well in their cores, the Bounty Hunter isn't really getting that much. He's constantly on the roam, pretty much doing Bounty Hunter things, but that involves getting not that much experience. So level 6, level track level, going to be very delayed.
Yep. So the Bounty Hunter, does he finally find that courier? I mean, he's only level 1, he does not have the Janata, so he can't really slow that courier, but the courier is relatively slow in itself. You have to see where it's going, because in the mid there is a tiny bit fight at least. But oh, they go for the courier, that's one hit, and oh, miss micro there. That of course is really bad, but then again, Winter Wyvern at the moment on the wrong side of this Fissure. They go here for the Earthshaker, and look at the Spirit Breaker. He's coming in, he's charged, and all they have to do is now follow, keep the vision and everything up. There is the Cold Embrace, just holding it a tiny bit back. The Bounty Hunter is already working on it, and now where are the 17% bashes? Nice Fissure, stunning them all. They already lose 80 and Winter Byron right here, and even the Windrunner has to run, but the problem is, well, there's the run and setup, and of course they're in trouble. Is there any other vision? Bounty Hunter trying to do something, also going down. ATN losing at the moment here is like mad, and now there's maybe the turnaround, but the Spirit Breaker not lucky, also not level 6 to get that Nether Strike in. This is just a massacre here.
Man, 4ASC collect huge, and most if not all of the credit has to be given to the Io and his luck. He got a regen rune right before that happened. He got pretty much the entirety of that rune off on the Earthshaker. So yeah, getting pretty much an additional life, an essential Aegis for the Earthshaker in that fight really helped out. And when you're in these really tight quarters, obviously Spirit Breaker gets a lot better. We saw a charge through onto 3 heroes, but also Storm Spirit gets a lot better. He was under no focus, so he was just right-clicking like mad, but Static Remnant does do a lot of damage for a nuke, and Overload, like even that AoE it's substantial in that stage. So 4ASC get away with a really great fight, and well, it's going to benefit the Slark as well, since he didn't have to worry about that Spirit Breaker. He actually is recovering in this lane and is now even tied up with the Spirit.
Yep, it was definitely a good fight for 4ASC, but of course it was a 3-for-1 trade with the courier on top, so it was at least something, yeah, coming out there, like when it comes to the finances of ATN. So it's a fight you don't want to take, and it's also the second time. If you remember last game, we had the similar IO situation where he was doing all the heavy lifting. Now, well, again, such a situation. We have a go here on his luck. He's not level 6 yet, but we also have no ultimate on the Spirit Breaker, so they didn't even bother to go for anything. Bounty Hunter still sitting around and trying to collect some levels.
They have a charge up. Maybe they're going to get into Matumman's face right now. He's going to be forced to leap out, still taking a lot of damage from the Shuriken. I feel like every single time Slark hits level 5, they have to drop down to like 20% HP. It is always kind of how it works out, but Sasu's holding onto this lane with an Iron Fist right now, and Nisha's still sticking around. And Matumba Man, yeah, he has one Tango kind of chugging away, and now he'll have the Io, so now he'll be just fine. But the Io, of course, is going to leave Nemphy out to dry. In the mid lane, level 6, though, versus level 5 Wind Ranger, it's a pretty nice timely rotation from Boogie. 4SE kind of juggling their lanes a little bit awkwardly in this early stage of the game, but overall, probably working out for them.
Absolutely. In the mid, well, by the way, Windrunner picking up that, oh, look at this, there's a charge in the mid, the Storm Spirit using a lot of mana just for all these remnants here, and now there we have to go. Still, no level 6, he needed like one more creep, and he had the Nether Strike, but he didn't go for it. There's not the Nightmare, nice little Shackle, but there's nothing they can actually do to follow this up, so I think this is just, yeah, disengage here. And now, of course, with the last creep dying by Nisha, the neutral creep, giving him level 6, wow, I think he should have just waited that 1 second in the bottom lane and then charged, because that might have been a kill on the Storm.
Yeah, the kill power of Spirit Breaker skyrockets once you grab that point click stun, and yeah, that Storm Spirit, if he was going to get hit with another strike, then most likely the Wind Ranger would have been able to get some action on her hands as well, so yeah, so many additional heroes would have been able to come in for alternate, and Storm does get to survive and is going to be a little more careful. We have another charge going down towards the bottom lane, this time onto Boogie. He has only one bottle charge right now. Nisha doesn't have any mana to speak of. We're actually going to see Nisha. Pounce not going to be used just yet, as they do have to respect the double damage Spirit Breaker. Unless they get Nemphy in here, he's going to catch right up. They do pounce him. Nether Strike can do a lot of damage, but it's not enough. He'll drop. Nisha, stuck in the trees right now, is spotted, and he'll be chased down. Bottling from the Storm Spirit and the Wisp both will get Nemphy a double kill on this bottom lane, or the team a double kill, rather. The Slark drew the first one, the Spirit Breaker, but still, Storm Spirit arriving and absolutely crushing that bottom lane.
Absolutely, like the first rotation of the Storm into another lane, I guess that was a revenge for them visiting the mid lane and trying it on the Storm without a level 6, and they got instantly punished. They said the next time we see each other, they're gonna kill you, and that's what he did. Of course, in the meantime, the Bloodseeker did quite some nice damage on the tier 1 tower, but yes, if you could trade, I guess the 2 kills would have been much better. That's what the Bloodseeker wishes at this point. He went for the Midas build. It's very greedy, because obviously you need some stats, otherwise the Storm Spirit is gonna snack you away pretty fast here, but then again, if they leave him alone for quite a while, then it will pay off more or less, and he will get quite some farming. But oh, there's a relocate, there's a stun on the Bloodseeker, and now, do we have enough? Yeah, but there will be the silence. Can he dodge it? He doesn't even need to dodge it. It just kills him right there with Overload and Ball Lightning. Winter Wyvern still having the Arctic Burn, but I think we're gonna see, yes, Overload, Vortex is not even skilled, the Remnant on the Cold Embrace, and of course it doesn't protect you against magic damage.
The charge coming in along with the Bounty Hunter, trying to go for Valix, completely tapped out of mana, as is Nemphy, and Mnik is here as well, looking for a Shackle. This will connect onto 2 heroes, or no, just onto Nemphy, but the charge goes towards Valix. Fissure is there, Nemphy though, taking Focus Fire damage, Nether Strike as well. That'll end the Storm's mega kill spree. Matumba Man even teleports up here to do not much of anything, so you know, it's a good opening to start things off, killing off the Bloodseeker, but in trade for a Storm Spirit who has a very large kill streak as well, that's suddenly a very expensive trade for 4ASC, and I guess they just didn't expect that many heroes to actually be there. Wind Ranger finally showing her face in this game, and so getting a little bit of action on her hands.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a nice mega kill still. Of course, if you look back on the last 4 minutes or so, it was a 2-for-0 and a 2-for-1 trade, and yeah, the bottom line is ATN just not trading as good, and even a mega kill, little bonus on top of it, won't change the whole thing. We are 10 minutes in, and while Nemphy is still doing fine, obviously nothing really changed on that one. The next runes, well, top that invisibility rune actually could maybe do the trick here, but I think, is it the Earthshaker just guarding it, or no, he's going for it, and that also makes, of course, the invisible Echo Slam into this big camp here. Oh Jesus, Bloodseeker already going down. There has been a relocate, and they could even go for more if they want to. There's still the invisible Earthshaker and Spirit Breaker being held in place. There is everything going down on him before he gets out of this ultimate.
Nisha and Mnik are on the south side, Winter Wyvern up on the north side. This is a really bad place for 4ASC to be position-wise, but they have the numbers advantage, so they could probably just, you know, brute force their way out of there. It's a super deep dive from 4ASC, but this super deep Observe Ward, man, paying dividends. Bloodseeker clearing out a giant stack, and with Hand of Midas picked up so early, you really can't afford to let Bloodseeker get that much cash on the board, but it's sufficiently punished by relocate in of the Bane, and hell, even the Bean's Grip being used to kill off the Spirit Breaker. Bane is level 7 at this point because Valix has been so active in this game, 304, And having levels on a Bane, it's really, really relevant. Like, even in Feeble, though it's not, you know, super impressive skill at low levels, if you get it, you can do some serious work with it. And Empty, ooh, ball ending in, sees the Winter Wyvern. Will actually get into a bad position right now because here comes the charge and the Arctic Burn. Fissure's going to connect onto Nisha unintentionally, however. Nemphy's still taking a beating. Where's the Io? Io is nearby enough to help out if need be. They see Sasu, ball ending straight in, will block it, but he gets bashed! And now the Nether Strike, oh, that'll be canceled because of the ball ending away. Nether Strike will be casted on Boogie instead. Shackled to a tree, Boogie. That Shackle didn't land? I don't know what happened there, but they kill off the Io anyway, and Bloodseeker picks off the Shaker in the same time. The Supreme Hero having a ton of movement speed. He's coming in and he's pissed. But 4ASC will lose both their supports in the end.
Yep, don't ask about shackles. It's a mechanic that nobody on this planet ever understood, not in Dota 1, not in Dota 2. Sometimes it latches...
Did it miss? Like, was I just...
No, it like, I didn't see it either. It was not connected to the tree. He immediately ran... Or, I mean, it's only level 1, the duration is not big, but Bounty Hunter in the mid, he shows under a sentry ward that is like by his team, so they protected him, but still the Storm Spirit, you saw him on low HP, just charging on him and easy going right there.
That was, I think, just a brain sap kill. Like, walk in, brain sap, get kill. And that's the dream for Bane. You can do that every single time. You'll be happy. And he even has his Fiend's Grip, and he sees the Wind Wyvern right behind him. As we do go in for Mnick, he will block a lot of that physical damage, but there's the grip onto Elisad, and the Storm Spirit wants this Wyvern instead. Will get the kill, but Mnick also has a lot of damage with double damage, and Bale's in a little bit of trouble right now. He's holding on to a kill spree. He will get healed up quite a bit by the Brain Sap, and Boogie will be left to sacrifice. Bale's going to try to TP out, will be cancelled by Sasu. The Super Breaker should get this kill by himself, and he will, ending a dominating spree as Nemphy tries to chase down the Bloodseeker. The Bloodseeker, though way too quick, is going to get very far into his base, and Nisha, well, he's going to pop the Remnant right now. Matubaman knows exactly where the Bounty Hunter is, but he can't do anything about it. He turns around for a blind pack, gets the kill! Nemphy may die in exchange, but still, what a play from Matubaman. Nemphy still being chased down, has quite a bit of mana left. He'll try to get a little bit further away, but he's going to run dry. Now Sasu has a clean kill on his hands. Matubaman, though, still kicking. He's going to decide to back off, but man, what a read by this Slark.
Well, I mean, I didn't even get the Slark kill fully on camera because I was thinking that Storm might be the full focus, but the Slark really, Matubaman just sitting there expecting someone to come along, and it was, of course, an easy kill right there for him. Nice prediction. But yeah, this is how it goes. Like, in all this, of course, the Bloodseeker finally was part of a fight where he put his Rupture in. Still, beyond that, it wasn't really the most effective fight for him because he had to leave quite early. Otherwise, these low HP targets would be so nice for him to chase, but the problem is he's getting so low in everything right at the beginning of the fight. But oh, Bane, he was smoked. And now they have, of course, problems.
Alright, well, Nisha's gonna get hit with the Fissure Brain Sapped as well. He does have a lot of sick charges, so he'll be just fine. Finally, a Shackle actually connects properly, doing a lot of damage to Stone. Power Shot, though, will be completely off the mark, letting the Earthshaker walk away. Matubaman arriving, a little bit too late to reinforce, but still there's a mess of 4 ASC heroes here. The majority of them are tracked. I don't know if 4SC want to stick around here. They do have full regen now on the Earthshaker and the Io, but not that much in the bottle. But they do get a Fissure and a very long pounce onto Mnick. He's going to get gripped up. The magic damage should be enough to kill off the Wind Ranger, and it will be. Even using the Echo Slam, I think it missed, but they get the kill anyway. Now onto Elisad, they're going to try to go. Storm Spirit with the ball lightning will grab that kill. Do they see Nisha? They don't have Dust, they have a Sentry to drop, and Nisha's going to walk right back into it. Now Fissured up, now ball lightning, and brought down. Triple kill for Nemphy. Oh my god, Nemphy and Matubaman, and they're just like finding all the kills, and well, they're being supported adequately. Alternate get cleaned up in the mid lane, get a marginal amount of farm in the side lane, but they'll lose a tower as well.
This is snowball lightning right there. Like, I mean, this Storm Spirit is getting sooner or later completely out of control, and of course also the Bane. The Bane at the moment paying off. Like, he does really good like initiations. I mean, this was a one-man smoke just from the side, getting an easy kill, or at least getting them in a position where they were so, yeah, awkwardly, I don't know, off, that it was so easy for AC to actually go into all of this. The Storm Spirit coming along. They still have protection when it comes here to a Sentry Ward, so they see if something else is coming out. The Bane, however, he has a Dust, so Bounty Hunter, that's definitely an area you don't want to be around. And oh, top there, Bloodseeker, he was found. He's trying to TP out. 2 more hits required. Oh my goodness, he was pretty much out already. There's a Winter's Curse coming, but of course a tiny bit too late in the meantime. Well, that IO is going down. We have also another fight in the bottom lane where the Storm Spirit grabs the Bounty Hunter. No idea how that one happened. The charge finally arrived, but only on a neutral creep. They don't have any further vision here on the Slark, so he's pretty much safe.
overall, just a 2-for-1 in favor of 4ASC. Giving away an IO for a couple kills like that, so very worth it, even though it may be a very, very narrow kill that they took. Getting the Bounty Hunter is just the cherry on top. The Storm Spirit has a 6 score right now, 10, 2, and 4, with Bloodstone in the works. In fact, most of the way completed. So he's online only 16 minutes into the game. That's an outrageous amount of farm to have on a Storm Spirit, although with so many kills, you wouldn't expect anything less. But 2-man also looks like he's going to be going for a Blink Dagger, is almost the same exact build as his spend in the last game, if not the same build, but he can get in there with the Storm Spirit as well, and then alternate. If this Wyvern is not there at the exact same time to Cold Embrace the friendly, then they'll just start losing heroes left and right. And even through that Cold Embrace, 4SC have shown that they have enough burst damage to get those kills.
I actually thought we're gonna see Shadowblade coming out here by the slug in this game, but okay, that was okay. I'm kind of surprised. Usually it's like it's always been like a 50-50 thing. Sometimes, oh my god, do they actually go for this? They have sentry wards. There's a charge. Charge is on the Bane. They want to interrupt this. Now it's actually D-ward here. Is there an ultimate coming? No, they want to go for the traditional kind and the IO. But this is more or less a bait. He's coming back. He's probably even coming back with the Bane. This is gonna be big, Mike.
Sasu's gonna get hit with a fissure. 2-man comes in from the north just to protect this relocate. I don't think 4SC really have to push this. Like, they already used the relocate. Yeah, Nemphy has a double damage rune, and on a Storm Spirit with a DD, you want to go, but yeah, just using the relocate that defensively is, I think, a smart move from both sides to back out of there. It's too risky.
I'm so disappointed, man. I was zooming out. I wanted to see 5 heroes going fully nuts on that IO relocate, but I think ATN, yes, like, they consciously made the right decision. They were like, no, they're grouping up there, they want to fight, and at this point we are just too far behind. How far they are behind, it's not too much, to be honest. That's a 1.5k advantage at this point, like, not what you expect with this kind of kill score.
2-man does draw out the Winter's Curse down the bottom lane, and well, Alternate are going to get a little bit more behind, as they will lose this bottom tier 1. Looking for the deny, they have a charge going towards Valix. This time there's no IO in the area to relocate out. A little bit of heal, but not enough. They'll lose the Bane immediately. Tower is destroyed in the meantime. Let's see if 4ASC can get a trade, because they do have Hero in their sights, and he has no TP scroll, so 2-man's going to get right on top of the Bloodseeker. Pound's so easy to land, and Hero is going to lay down a Silent Circle, going to run to his circle. Fissure, not available. Why is there no Fissure available from the Shaker? But I don't think the Bloodseeker's this fast. He's going to get pounced upon, and he will go down, ultimately trading the Bane for the Bloodseeker. As a Bloodseeker, you can't really afford to be out that far, like, ever, especially without a TP scroll.
Yeah, the funny part is that with the TP scroll, he would have survived, I think. Like, right after the Fissure, right after the Vortex, I'm not really sure if they had enough punch to just get him down before the TP, but running was also an option. He chose that, and he didn't have a TP. In the end, the bottom line is still the same. He died, he was really too far out. He thought they are really busy in the bottom line, but the fact is, they made a nice rotation, so 4ASC, really, the map awareness is there. We have also Invisible Storm Spirit looking for something. The Bounty Hunter actually is there. There's no Sentry Ward except for this one. That was a random one, but it comes out. It does. Finding the Bounty Hunter, but there's also a charge, I think. Yes, is there ultimate? No, not gonna go for it. The IO is coming in with the Stark, and it's all in a Cold Embrace, but still, the ultimate on the Spirit Breaker. He's gonna get taken down, and now the Winter Viper is pretty much the next target. The entire team is on his tail, and the question is, yes, he will make it out. Nice little lead, Mastobaman. Not gonna find anything more, I think, at this point, but it was already a good trade.
He wants more, though. He does see them, I think. Is there a jump in? There is. Nemphy's gonna get pulled back onto Hero. Shackle gonna connect at a weird angle, but it will connect nonetheless. Fissure gonna wall off Hero completely. Nemphy, 2-man, gonna sit in the Silent Circle. They don't give a damn, as the Bloodseeker walks right into the Echo Slam. Poor guy.
Ouch.
Didn't really deserve that one, but they get another bonus kill. I just want to ask this question. How the hell are 4ASC getting these reads? Like, that was a completely blind dust, as you said. There was nothing that revealed the bounties there at all, at least not that I saw, but they still managed to connect. That was the second time this bounty hunter was just obliterated, even though there's no sentries on the deck. This is, like, not a good game to be bounty hunter.
No, I think the Storm was somewhere here, and I don't know, he saw him going into Shadow Walk there, and then he just popped the dust. I mean, he was standing here, and somehow it was either here or there, and he went into Shadow Walk. And then you see the animation. That's the funny part. With or without invisibility, even if you refresh it from invisible status to invisible status, you still see the animation. So I don't know if you saw that, or let's just say no. They're all hacking. They use cheats clearly.
No,
I don't
they're,
know.
they're not hacking. They're just cyborgs, and they've
Oh, got him.
downloaded alternate. They're gonna find Sasu. He has a charge out. Will use it. Unfortunately, he might run into a Shaker. Oh, no, he doesn't, because Shaker uses his Fissure to hit the Winter Wyvern. That's a little bit unfortunate, but now the Wyvern's in a really bad position. Blink Pounce are actually going to get the Sasu kill ultimately, and get the Nightmare onto Elisa, who's going to get a little bit of help from the Bloodseeker, turning things around with the Curse onto Boogie. That's a very dead IO. That's a track kill. Stone also in a little bit of trouble right now. Has a Blink, but he can't quite get out of there, but Two Man just going wild. No one's on top of the Slark. Hero's dropping really low. There's the grip on him, and Two Man should be able to clean up this kill. Balix is going to get shackled to a tree, but Nemphy's going to come in and bail him out from the Wind Ranger. Wind Run not going to save the Wind Ranger. Nightmare should kill her off, not for the Storm Spirit. Two Man's going for Nisha, the last hero alive from alternate, and he will fall short actually, deciding to fall back instead, making the cautious play. Now Nisha gonna try to TP out of there. It looks like he will survive, but at what cost? It's 2 supports for 4 heroes in alternate. They get like 1 track kill. That's just not worth it.
Yep, at the moment, like, I love the interaction of 4AC with the Nightmare and the Ultimate, like the Storm Spirit and the Bane. It's like they're playing together in a team, you know? Like, this looks like a stack here. Yeah. Anyway, no, but I really love it. Like, the Nightmare on whatever target that it's trying to run away, especially if there's the evasion coming out by the Winter, and then Nemphy's just, okay, I just drop a remnant of myself here, and everything's gonna be fine, and he's getting kills with that. Like, the same goes for pretty much, like, all the Embrace targets, the cold Embrace targets. It's the perfect setup to get 100% remnant into whoever is there.
Nisha spotted as he wanders into a sentry ward.
Ouch.
Poor guy. And now the Winter Wyvern is kind of here as well. Fissure can install Hero out of this fight as Ball Lightning does get Nemphy out of the Silent Circle. He doesn't have that much backup, but neither does this Wyvern. He's going to die really quickly. Two Man instantly packs out that Shackle, and they get the Nightmare into the Wind Ranger. Sleep. But it's not going to work. Here comes Sasu. Into 5 heroes. He's going to dive for Balix. They do get the kill, but at the cost of Sasu. And now more mana ball landing forward from Nemphy. How does he have this much mana regeneration? Mnek in a little bit of trouble right now. No more extra CC. But Two Man looking for a pounce. It's kind of hard to land a Wind Ranger, but he connects on it anyway. Now going to get the kill. But Tumberman has been playing out of his freaking mind in this Slark. He's sitting in the enemy base. He doesn't care, man. You can't just stop a Slark with towers. They're going to track him up, but that's not relevant right now. He's going to walk out of there, packed out the track, and just be on his merry way.
It's just one by one at the moment. It's like really like a lemming army running into 4 AAC and eating the anchor in their face, and I heard that leaves at least some marks, of course, right there. They're gonna transition directly into a tier 2 tower push, but ATN, they have to stop this. Like, these fights, they're so bad at this point. They're dropping K by K net worth at the moment to a point where I'm not really sure if they can salvage it, but oh, the Bloodseeker tried to get some farm, and Nemphy saw that nice vision, of course, and the relocate as well. He's going down really, really fast. There has been even some poor engagement on that bounty under the Echo Slam. Everything's coming out. He's going down as well, and now Winter Wyvern coming down from his Arctic Burn. He still has a Winter's Curse in case he wants to use Matoba, man. He's so greedy at the moment. He really wants it. There's an ultimate. No, it was just a fake cast, and he's gonna get him. Again, nice Fissure by the Earthshaker. The Shackle not latching to the next creep. He's still going down. That was beautiful, but now they're gonna eat remnants directly in their face. Right here, Matumbaman using his ultimate, staying alive, and Windrunner just out of steam, doesn't have anything anymore. Now it's the Space Cow alone versus 3, circling around those tier 3 towers, and GG, well played. We got it. It's just too much pressure by 4 ANC.
There are tier 2 towers up right now. Like, bottom lane tier 2 was just killed by creeps. Mid lane tier 2 was still standing. But obviously just diving a base, you know, they got the mobility on the Slark and Storm Spirit. Shaker joining the fray because, well, sometimes he decides to be a little bit suicidal. But, man, this game was just good play after good play from 4 ASC. Sickest of reads, and alternate just seemingly not with the proper heroes in the right place. This Bloodseeker, even though he had a completely free time, 175, not really doing that much overall.
Yep, absolutely. This was, I mean, the whole last phase of this felt like an endless fight. It was, we barely had like 30 seconds in between to actually talk about God and the world and whatever status the game is in. It felt like they were constantly fighting. 4Anchors was constantly fighting, and ATN just, they just never got their bounty hunter online. The Winter Wyvern has a lot less impact than we had in game number 1, so all this translated into like really a downward spiral for ATN that they could not stop. Not at all. Anyway, guys, this is the Hitbox Challenger here by Razor, of course, and we have one more game today coming. It's 21 CEST, which is in about 1 hour, so there will be some music and everything running, and then we're coming back for this game. Another best of 3, and also another free $100 on the line. And of course, for ASC, they're gonna play tomorrow. They're gonna pick the team they're gonna play later. pretty much after this game, we're gonna clarify that in the background, and as soon as that is coming out, we're gonna tweet that out, post it everywhere, and of course you can see it all on the tickers and betting sites whatsoever. So that all being said, you can find of course Mikelorus at Mikelorus on Twitter. For me it's at Heflamoke. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're gonna see you in the game London Conspiracy versus Lemondog, which is a revenge from June, because that's the last time they played in the Racer Think Fast tournament against each other, and there Lemondogs took a beating. We have to see if they changed something till now.
Later, guys.